Hey, Talofalava, Leotel with Dr. John Peterson here, TE2 Edge Sports Cards, coming at you live and direct from Minneapolis, Minnesota. It is early morning on Thursday, and we are at the card table. We're going to do another reveal here. PSA Titanic Bout. Check it out.
TE2 Edge Sports Cards. Get at it.
All right, let's get started here, folks. Before we get into the reveal, I just thought I'd make a few comments on the most recent reveal that I did about a week ago. That was part 4 of the South Dakota Collection series. If you're familiar with that and have been watching the channel and the content over the last however many months, you'll be pleased to know that the numbers have turned out pretty good. I still have a few autographed cards that I need to figure into the mix and put into the data, integrate into the data. And then I'll do a final reveal, summary, whatever you want to call it, of the 4 parts of that order and let you know how I did overall. I can tell you that things are looking pretty good. So give thanks for that. Just wanted to say thanks to everyone who has been watching the channel. Appreciate you. Appreciate the comments. Many thoughtful comments, and some of them critical, but some of them rooted in the data and rooted in a full view and full watching of the entire reveal. Unfortunately, there are a few trollers who show up in the threads, and they do this pretty consistently across different content creators' channels, who watch 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, don't watch the end of the video, maybe don't even watch any of the video and just click on the thumbnail and start trolling, who expressed pretty much only opinion-based comments, not rooted in any sort of evidence whatsoever. And you know that because when you ask them questions, they don't have answers or don't answer the question in the thread. Now, this isn't an issue for me. It does drive the algorithm, to be honest with folks. And it does generate more views. Comments are really good for the algorithm, for those of us that are content creators. That being said, you know, the single narrative that I hear from collectors is dangerous because they think it's a binary of only you're a dealer profitizing off the system, or you're a pure collector, or an average collector, like someone put in the thread here recently. That couldn't be further from the truth. A single narrative is a single perspective. It's a story based on a single perspective, a perspective that is not rooted in the complexities and the comprehensiveness of what it means to be a hobbyist within the market or within the hobby. I collect. I have a vintage PC collection that I don't touch really at all. I don't grade it. I don't sell it. I don't really add to it. It's just there. And I look at it and enjoy it when I have time. On the other side, I have a business, and part of owning a business is to make a profit and also make people happy, right? Because a lot of this hobby is not based on happiness and joy. It's based on suffering, sadness, disappointment, frustration. So my job as a business owner is to make the end consumer, oftentimes collectors, but sometimes dealers and flippers, it's to make them happy and make them feel satisfied with the card that they purchased. Without dealers, there are no cards in many ways. I mean, you can get cards by breaking boxes, but the ROI in that adventure is not good. Return on investment. You can buy collections and, you know, go raw grade yourself, which is fun, but not easy to do. Probably the most efficient way of getting cards as a collector is to buy them off of eBay or buy them at a show from a dealer. And so without dealers, there's really no cards for collectors to buy outside of what I just mentioned. That being said, everyone's entitled to their opinions. Some opinions are a little more valid than others. Some opinions are based in evidence, some are not. And for those that continue to comment on the channel and make baseless comments, some of which are very toxic, and not rooted in having watched the entire video or watched any of the prior videos, I'm just going to say keep it coming. And if you feel like you need to comment and troll, there's a point at which I'll probably say enough is enough, and I'll remove you from view on the thread. You can't really block people from your channel on YouTube. That's not really a thing with YouTube like it is for Facebook or Instagram and some of the other social media platforms. But I can remove you from being viewed and having your comments viewed on the channel, which I don't really like to do because I do want to seek multiple perspectives, as long as those perspectives are rooted in the person having watched the entire video, right? Just clicking on the thumbnail and making baseless comments just indicates that the marketing that I've been doing with the thumbnails is working, because it's drawing you in, and it's based off of negativity and your negative vibes. And that's fine, because it does drive the algorithm and increases the views. It's well known within the YouTube card content creator space that negative almost always, not always, but almost always will generate more views, comments than what you get with positive. So, as a creator, it does make sense to do a little bit of that in the thumbnail and in the title. But overall, I try to keep it positive. Now, I'm going to keep it real, but I'm going to keep it hopefully positive, balanced with some, critique. Hopefully not too much negativity as it relates to PSA collections, that sort of thing. So with that said, thanks to everyone for making comments. Thanks for watching. I do hope you watch the entire video. If this is your first time watching a video with me, I really encourage you to watch the whole thing and then go back to some of the prior videos to get a sense of the methodology that I apply to raw to grade with PSA. And, PSA is frustrating. It is. That being said, it's still profitable. It's still very profitable if you know what you're doing and you have a good sense of how to buy. You can have pretty bad PSA orders and still do okay if you are purchasing the cards and the outlay on the front side is a relatively low risk investment. All right, so that's enough of that. Hope you enjoyed this video. It's going to be a long one. There are quite a few cards in the order, and let's get into this Titanic bout. Oh, and last thing I'll say is I'm really interested in how you think I did. Did I win or did I lose? And I know that's really kind of black or white, but do you think overall it was a good order, a positive order, an order where you think I did a nice job? Or do you think I did a rather poor job? There's a couple ways with which you can base that opinion on if you watch the whole video. One, you can base it off of the just accuracy and validity of the pre-assigned grades that I gave, and or you can look at the profitization of the order and make a decision based on that, and or both. So it could be kind of in the middle. It could be a mixed piece rather than just strictly a good order or a bad order. So, and good or bad is really moral. I mean, it's not really good or bad. It's, did I do a nice job? Did I not do a nice job? I'm curious to see what you think about that. If you watch the whole video, if it's just based on pure opinion and your hatred for PSA, then it probably isn't. This probably isn't the channel for you. So, but you're still welcome to comment. May call you out a little bit, but that goes without saying. Okay, so got the lamp here. I'm gonna tilt this down just a little bit. Let's start off with, and this is going to be a long video, folks, so it's not for everyone. I'm going to be honest with you. But if you're into this sort of thing and you like watching reveals, then I hope this is up your alley. So these are the Sports Illustrated for Kids cards that did not get graded. Not entirely surprised by this. Some did get graded, though. I thought this one was a cool one. North Carolina Days. Really liked this one. I don't know if you obviously you can't see that because of the min size sticker from PSA. But if you're familiar with the Sports Illustrated for Kids cards, that's from his high school, Jordan's high school. And I probably will not resend these in because it's just not likely that they'll assign a grade if they're already min size. Oops. Let's see here. See if I can get this. These PSA semi-bridges are really cheap. Very cheap. Not good. This one's upside down, so they put it in upside down. That's really, really great PSA. This is the double Kobe. Probably most of you are familiar with this card. Not a terribly valuable card. I won't send it in again. This is, I think, the second time I sent it in. This is the 94 Finest base. I thought the card looked great, but this is the second time I sent that one in. This is Bombardiers, Season's Best, 98. Great card. I sent it in twice now, and the first time, I sent it in twice, and they won't grade it, so I don't know. Maybe I'll try one last time to send it in, and hopefully we can get them to put on a slab. If not, maybe I'll just send it to BGS or SGC. Probably not SGC, probably BGS. See if BGS will grade it. If not, I can always keep it raw. So I don't know how off it is in terms of min size, but because I haven't measured it. But that's the second time that I've sent it in, and PSA was not wanting to grade it. Let's take a look at the actual order. Let me grab some of the paperwork here. Sorry for the camera here. Actually, I don't want to show that quite yet. I'll just read it to you like I have done in the past. The order showed up yesterday from FedEx, so that was 10/1/25. 113 cards were graded in the order at $25 a card. So this was a $5 increase in the submission fee, which amounted to about $550 to $600 additional in terms of the cost, which is not great, but I also got the cards back much more quickly than I would have if I had done the $20 value bulk or bulk rate. The grading fees were $2,825, so pretty significant. The outlay on the cards was $1,000, give or take a few bucks. It was a bit of a Frankenstein order in that not all of the cards came from the same collection. That being said, the vast majority came from what I'm calling the Father and Son collection. Father and Son is a business, I think, based out of Ohio, if I'm not mistaken, who I met through Facebook Marketplace. And I had picked up, I want to say it was close to 500. And don't quote me on this. I think it was close to 500 Jordan and Kobe cards for about $900. So the vast majority of the order was made up from that buy. Of course, I didn't grade all the cards from that order. I think the per card cost was right around $2 per card. So most of the cards from the order are from there, but there are a few from other places. So I added up what I had for a cost outlay for each of those different types of cards or different categories of cards based on where I purchased them. I added that all up and then divided it by, I added it all up and divided it by, how did I do that now? I added them all up and then divided it by 113 cards, came out on a per card cost basis and got that. I think it was about $9 or something like that, maybe a little bit less, probably less than that. And figured that card outlay was about $1,000. Shipping was $75. The total outlay was just under $4,000. I had it at $3,900. Of course, the big chunk of that was the grading fee. I had the estimated value at $12,500. I had the estimated profit at $6,975. So a pretty big order, 113 cards. 121 cards were sent in, And again, the 8 cards that didn't get graded, is how we got to 113. So that's the initial data. And let's get into the reveal and see what you think about this. Let's see, where am I going to set this? Let's go right there. All right, card number 1. I'll try and go through this relatively quickly because there's so many cards, but we will take a little time to salt away on a few of these. So this was a card that I've had from the last, 4 years, 5 years, when I kind of first got not back in, because I've always been in the hobby, but into the hobby as a business owner. It's 82 Topps LT. I had this as a 7. We got a 7. Pretty hard to get these centered. I would say maybe 1 in 5 to 7 cards in a pack are centered. So, you're not likely to get a centered LT out of 82 product. Had some 85 Topps. Thought I'd give this a shot. This Merino I thought looked pretty good. I had this as an 8. It came back as an 8. Very condition sensitive set. PSA 10s in this set are worth quite a bit. But it's a nice card. The LT. I got it $60. So, if you're looking at $25 to grade it, another $5 to pick it up, you're looking at about a $25 profit off this card. So not a lot. Like I said before, many times, you might think, well, why would you grade that card? Well, you get 100 cards like this in a multiple orders. You make $25. That's $2,500. Otherwise, you're selling this raw, and you're probably getting $5 for it. So, and this will sell. LT sells. The Merino, probably closer to break even. $25-$30 on the Merino, which is okay. You're gonna have break even. There's a couple more of the 85 Topps. This is a Sam Washington, a common card. I thought this was a 9, and it came back as an 8.5. So on an 8.5, it's about a $20 card. It's hard to find these cards in grades that are, 9 or higher, and even 8.5 is decent. So thought I'd try my hand at that one. The next one is a Ken O'Brien. This is a 3rd-year card. The O'Brien I had as a 9, and I got an 8, which isn't terribly surprising. That bottom left corner has a little tick on it. I think it was a tougher grade, but you can see on the back that the centering isn't as good. And of course, the black border is going to reveal some ticks and or chipping on the edges. So the Ken O'Brien's probably worth about $30 in a PSA 8. This was the card that I thought looked the best of the 4 or 5 that I had in this order for 85 Topps. It's an Ozzie Newsome. Ozzie Newsome, of course, is a Hall of Fame tight end. Played for the Cleveland Browns. Off-centered on the back. I had this as a 10. So it was the one card that I thought was a 10, and it came back as an 8. So I'm guessing it is the centering in the back that did it. Otherwise, I thought this card looked pretty clean. I think 8 is a bit of a harsh grade, but then again, PSA is entitled to their opinion just as other people are. $10, so that's going to be a little bit of a loss on that one. Next, we have some 86 Topps traded. I had about 10 factory sets left from about, 18 or 20 that I'd purchased like 4 or 5 years ago, quite a while ago. This is the 86 Topps Conseco. I had this as a 10. I thought this looked really good, but I can already see that the centering is off top to bottom, so it got a 9. Really nice on the top, though. Oftentimes, the top of these cards have a little chipping. There was a little, I don't know what you call this. There's not chipping on the left-hand side, but just a little bit of wear. So, yeah, $190 in a 10 and $25 in a 9. So that's a push. So we got a run of Bonds here. This is 86 tops traded. I had this as an 8 and got a 9. I loaded the front part of this part of the order, the Bonds, as I do most of the time, with the cards that I thought had lesser chance for a lesser grade. And this is typically where you have issues with Bonds, is on this left-hand side. Sometimes at the top as well, but usually there's a little chipping at the left-hand side of this card. I've had this card graded many times. And this one got 9, so I did better than what I thought. It's about a $45, $50 card. Another Bonds in the run. I had this one as an 8, and it came back as a 9. So pretty happy with that. Again, $45. Another Bonds, had this as an 8 and got a 9. Again, you can see just that little bit of chipping over there. This is a great card. This is one of my all-time favorite baseball cards. Probably top 20 for me. Not top 10, but top 20. Another Bonds here. I think I had, let's see here, I've done 3. What, 1, 2, 3. This is the 4th one. I had this as a 9. And it came back as a 9. Little bit off, top to bottom, I thought, and left to right. Look at that, quite a bit. Front side of the card looks decent. You can see that this is a little bit off-centered left to right, though. Still got a 9, though, within the threshold, which is nice. This next one I had a 9, or had it pre-graded and as a 9, and it came back as a 9. So, I mean, rather than having it just sit in the factory sealed box, reselling the box probably isn't great. I mean, he makes the haul. These 9s could be worth a little bit more, maybe $100 if he makes the haul. I don't know if he's going to make the haul, but some would say no, and some would say he should or will. I guess it is to be determined yet. Had this as a 9, and it came back as a 9. So you can see as the run progresses, I had the little tick marks. They look a little bit less than the first ones, but still got the 9. Had this as a 9 as well. I think this was the second to last one. Thought it was centered really nicely. Thought it had an outside shot at a 10, just ever so slightly. But got a 9. A little bit off-centered left to right too, so not entirely surprised that one didn't get a 10. And then the last one, I thought this was a legit, well, not a legit. I thought it was a 50-50 9 or a 10. I pre-graded it as a 10, and it came back as an 8. So you can see the wear on the left-hand side is the least, but you've got a little tick up there in the upper right-hand corner, which I think dinged it. So got an 8, but pretty much happy with the Bonds. Is all 9s with the exception of 1/8. Sticking with 1986 tops traded, we've got the Bo Jackson. Had this first Bo as an 8 pre-grade, and it came back as a 9. A little surprised that this came back as a 9 given the new centering standards, because this is pretty off left to right, but happy with that. Next Bo I had as a 9. It came back as a 9. All these Jacksons are about $100 to $120 cards in a PSA 9. In a PSA 10, it's a pretty valuable card. I want to say it's a $500, $600 card. Great shot of probably the greatest all-around athlete of all time, other than maybe him and Jim Thorpe, although that's kind of a tough comparison because Thorpe was from a totally different era. I had this Bo as an 8. Came back as an 8. So very accurate in the pre-grades compared to what the final grades were in these 86 tops traded cards, which is great. I had this one as an 8, and it came back as a 9. So that's an undergrade. Again, $110 on those. Bout's got a nice collector base. A lot of people like Bout. Pretty sure I had this one as an 8. Off-centered quite a bit. Came back as a 9. Pleasantly surprised. I mean, I got to tell you. I mean, $110. I mean, it's not bad. How many more Bouts are there? I think there's 3 more. Yep, 3 more. So we are on to the second page. Let's go here. All right, I had this one as a 9. And I was off the mark on this one because this was an 8. $30 card and an 8. But that being said, you know, still a mini win. You know, $25 to get it graded. Yeah, probably a push. Next one I had was pre-graded as an 8, and it came back as an 8. So we're on the mark with that one. And then the last one I had as an 8. So for some reason I did the lesser bows at the end of the run and the better ones at the beginning. Not sure why I did that. It's not typical for me. I had this pre-graded as an 8, and it came back as a 7. So there must have been something on the surface with this that caused this to be a 7 rather than an 8 or a 9. And a 7, that's about a $20 card, so a little bit of a loss on that one. All right, next group, next stack, we've got some 89 Bowman Griffey Juniors. Again, these were out of a case, boxes from a case that I had purchased like 4 years ago from Brother Bruce Primo in Prior Lake, and sold a bunch of the boxes, cracked open some of the boxes. These were a few of the last 89 Bowman Griffey Juniors that I thought were worth sending in. I kind of was hedging on whether I should send them in or not. You know, it's not a terribly valuable card in a 7, 8, or 9. But in a 10, it's a pretty decent card, but pretty tough to get 10s in these. I had all of these as 9s. This was pre-graded as a 9. And came back as a 10. Somewhat surprised because oftentimes if you look with a jeweler's loop, there's issues at the bottom with the chipping of the card, but I think the centering on this card was really solid. Registration looked good. I didn't see any surface issues on it, so that being said, I was still pretty surprised it got a 10. It was about a $415 to $430, $40 card in a PSA 10. So that's a classic. I mean, other than the Upper Deck, the 89 Upper Deck, I think this is one of his more classic cards. I mean, everybody bought Bowman. 89 Bowman, the proliferation of 89 Bowman was thick back in the day. A lot of it. I had this as a 9. Got a 10. There's got to be surface on this. Some sort of a crease or a bend. Something I missed. Because this doesn't look significantly different from this. And I know people are going to say, oh, PSA, you know, they're just totally off base and inconsistent. I'm telling you, folks, a high percentage of the time, it's the errors on my part. So the joke was on me. Or the joke was not on me. I was the one that, you know, was joking around with that one probably. And I'd have to crack it out and look at it, you know. But they don't, PSA doesn't give like 5s just because. I don't think they do, in my experience. I've done 12 orders this year. You know, so this isn't off the basis of just 1 or 2 orders. It's off the basis of a dozen orders in 2025. I had this as a 9. Came back as a 9. So clearly the surface wasn't an issue. You know, good card. And good alignment in terms of pre-grade. Now you have to remember this is only like a $35, $40 card in a 9. So the delta between the 9 and the 10 is pretty big. So you're taking a bit of a risk. But yeah, make a little money on this, maybe $5 at the most. $10 if I'm lucky. But still, somebody's going to enjoy this card. Somebody's going to have this card in hand for $35 to $40, and they're going to be super happy with a PSA 9 because maybe they've never had this card before. All right, now we're getting into the father-son collection. This is the classic 1990 Skybox MJ. I had it pre-graded as a 9, and it came back as a 9. Very tough card to get a 10 in. I've never gotten a 10 in this card. I actually don't send it in very often, even when I do get it in a nice, what I perceive to be a nice condition, just because it's so hard to get a 10 on this. I don't know if it's the center. I think it's the centering. Typically it's the center. I thought the centering on this one looked really good. But maybe right to left, possibly. Let's look at the back. Yeah, it's right to left, or left to right. You can see that the right is definitely thicker than the... So this side's thicker than this side, probably. And the Skyboy has a $35 card, so still small win on that one. Next one, we've got the 91 Hoops. I had this pre-graded as a 10. Came back as a 9. So again, centering. It's hard to tell because, you know, you can't really see this corner. I'm guessing it's off-centered left to right. Kind of tough to tell in the back. Although you can kind of get a sense that that 30 compared to the logo is not quite centered. So still got a 9 though. And that's a $30 card in a 9. This is the USA Basketball 1991 Hoops. I had this pre-graded as a 9. And it got a 9. So there were 2 of these in the order. Again, this was a $2 card for me, so I got 27 bucks into this card. And, you know, and a PSA 9 is probably $25, $30 card, so it's a push. That was the setup for this one, which I thought this one was a 10. And it came back as a 10. So pretty happy about that. About a $150 card in a PSA 10. And, you know, if you take 27 and 27, that's 54. It says 55 bucks. Let's see, you get 25 for this. And you get 150 for this, it's 175. If your cost basis is 87% on eBay, which I'm actually thinking about starting to sell some of my stuff on the Snipe site that Probstein's setting up. We'll check that out. Their fees are going to be a lot less than eBay, like more than half less than eBay. I think 5% for cards that are sold by people who have like a super seller profile or rating. So happy with this one. Spot on with that. Got the 10. Here's a 92 Hoops. So just the straight base. I had this pre-graded as a 10. And I got a 10. Never graded this card. Look at Hakeem. As great as Hakeem was, look at Jordan just totally like facing Hakeem. He's literally got his hand in his face. These two guys in the background, Kenny Smith and Vernon Maxwell, look at their faces. They're like, holy shit, look at this guy. That's funny to me. All right, this is about a $135 card and a PSA 10. A nice win on that one. About 110 bucks. This one, Top Stadium Club, graded this card many times. I thought it was a 9. It's the last of the stadium clubs that I have that I thought were... I might have a couple sitting around, but I don't think they're worth grading. I thought this was a 9. Took a hit on this one. It was a 7. Must be surface. Probably get 10, 15 bucks for this at the most. So loss on that one. Definitive loss on that one. This is the 92 Fleer. I thought this was a 10. Got a 9. Yeah, not sure. Centering probably be my guess. $25 card. And a 9, so that's a push. It's a nice thing about Jordan. If you get 9s, you're pretty much pushing on these, base cards. But if you get a 10, you're over $100. So it's a risk, but you gotta sometimes take those risks and see how you do. This is the USA basketball team card. I think it's made out of plastic, if I'm not mistaken. It was produced by, let's see here, Skybox in '92. Not terribly familiar with this card. I thought it was a 10, with the caveat that the registration is not good. It's faded. I was kind of wishful thinking maybe on this one because I think as a 10, it's about a $750 to $800 card. Got a 9, so close, real close. You can see that it's faded a little bit, little yellowing on the back too. But to get a 9 on this card, I've never even seen this card other than out of this collection. Maybe you have. Maybe it's a pretty common card. I'd have to look at the pop count. $65, $75 card though, in a PSA 10 or PSA 9, excuse me. And what a great photograph! Photograph the greatest team of all time, greatest basketball team of all time. Yeah, I like that one. Maybe PC that one. We'll see. Probably not, but we'll see. This is the '93 Fleer MJ. I had this as a 10. Got a 9. Also a tough card to get a 10 in. Centering, I think, is the primary issue. So, yeah, not doing bad. I mean, pulling 9s. I mean, it's a $45 card and a 9. No, excuse me. It's a $30 card and a 9. So, really kind of a push, but it'll sell. This is the Fleer Jordan. I had this as a, or I'm sorry, Skybox Hoops Jordan. I had this as a 9. And we got a 9. Never graded that card before. So that is a $45 to $50 card. A little higher value on that one. So a little win on that. This is the '93 Fleer Ultra. I also had this as a 9. Came back as a 9. 30, 35 bucks on this. All these 9s in Jordan, I'm happy with. I mean, like 2, 3, 4 years ago, that would have been a 10. I think. And PSA's grading standards have gotten much more strict, so 9s actually have pretty good value, I think, long term. I'm not going to give those away. I'll probably list them, and if they sell, they sell. If they don't, I'll hang on to them for a while. This is the '93 Upper Deck Phantomation, Bird and Jordan. Had it at a PSA 9. Came back as a 9. So you can see on the front end of this order, I am pretty accurate because the vast majority of these I'm getting the right pre-grade, in terms of the pre-grade, in terms of the final grade, I'm pretty spot on with a lot of these. This is the '93 Upper Deck Jordan. Had a 10 in this. $135 card, a 10 for the pre-value. Came back as a 10. I've not graded this card before. What a fantastic photograph with that light shining in the background. Upper Deck just did an amazing job in the early to mid '90s taking photographs of Jordan. That's a beautiful card right there. It's a PSA 10. It's actually a $200 card in a PSA 10. So you might ask yourself, well, geez, John, why all these base cards? Well, this is a base card. It's a beautiful card. It will absolutely sell. It will absolutely sell for $200. I can guarantee it. I'll make $150 on this card. If I do decide to sell it, which I likely will. Yeah, so I'm happy with it. And he's wearing my favorite Jordan shoes of all time. All right. The battle continues. So far, I'd say that I'm probably winning the early first couple rounds of this bout. Maybe you agree, maybe you disagree. Well, let's continue and see what happens here. All right, I had this. This is the Upper Deck Skylight. Skylight. This is a cool card. '93 Upper Deck Jordan. Had this as a 9. Got an 8. So lost on that one. Took a couple punches to the face. $25 card. That was a risky one. $55 in a 9. Probably shouldn't grade it, but you know what? What a sweet card. Somebody's going to want this card in a PSA 8, trust me. With the John Hancock building in the background? Yeah, why not? Give it a shot. 92 Upper Deck Jordan. And it says a 10. 9. Bummer. Top to bottom. That's the issue, I think. Left to right looks pretty good. So, in a 9, it's a $25 card. It's okay, though. It's going to happen. Next one. It's a nice card. These USA cards are cool. Jordan, it's just amazing. The USA team, Dream Team. I had this as a 9. And I put what I thought was the better one second, because there's 2 of these. I put it last. And this got a 10. I think that's fantastic. What a great card. Closing his eyes on the free throw. Got this gold embossing on the bottom. Got the gold logo there of Upper Deck. Never gotten a 10 on this card. And, it's a $125 card. $140 card. So, nice win on that one. Not a huge win, but a nice win, Here's the second one. I had this one as the 10, and it came back as an 8. Likely a surface issue. I'd have to look more closely. Yeah, tough to say. Likely surface, though. Last card of this stack. This is called Upper Deck Scrapbook Decisions. I thought the card looked really clean. Thought it was a 10. Wasn't sure what the value was in a 10. Came back as an 8, so didn't get a win on that. It's about a $10, $15 card. So there's a few stinkers in here. But if you figure $25, $25 plus $2, it's $27. I mean, you're going to win some and you're going to lose some, folks. That's just how it goes. No risk it, no biscuit. You can play it safe and just buy graded cards all the time if you want, or just not even grade altogether. But to me, that's not fun. That's boring. Boring is okay, and boring is good sometimes. And I do some boring with my OG raw vintage collection. But I don't know. I enjoy the process. And if you enjoy the process, then it makes sense to give it a shot sometimes. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. I'll give you an example. And this isn't bragging. I'm just telling you just the facts. I bought a Matas Bucelis 2022 Bowman Inception Auto. It was an orange. I got it for $135, numbered to 25. Sent it in. Got a PSA 10 for the auto, PSA 10 for the card grade. Sold it for $1,100 2 nights ago. So, yeah, you might say, Matas Bucelis, what are you doing, John? Well, first of all, he's, I think, a talent, and I think he's going to have a good career. And secondly, I thought the price point on a card numbered to 25 from a tough set to pull those cards, 2022 Bowman Inception, tougher than what you think to pull those low-numbered cards. And so, yeah, profited maybe $900 to $1,000 on that card. And, 9x the outlay. So this is so anyway, I just want to share that with folks, that sometimes you win and sometimes you lose, and if you're winning more than you're losing, you're coming out ahead. This is not the right card. Something's off with the ordering of this. Shoot. Hold on a second here, folks. Just give me a minute. Oh, I think I know what I did. I've got the wrong stack here. Yep, I did the wrong stack. Okay, thanks for your patience. The big thing is when you get these back, you have to get them in the right order. I think I did this right. Yep, we got it. Okay, got it fixed. Okay, next card. Again, from the Father-Son collection. This is the Upper Deck 95 Slam Jams. I had this as a 10. Thought it looked clean. Came back as an 8. So, swing and a miss there. And an 8, it's about a $25 card, so a push. Another Slam Jams. Had this also. Oh, I'm sorry. The first Slam Jams I had is a 9. So I was off by 1 grade because I put the lesser of the two first. I had this one as a 10, and this one got a 9. So this is about a $40 card and a 9. 35, 40. But a cool card, so never graded this card before. Base. Why not give it a shot? So outlay, 55. Probably get 60, 65 out of these two cards. So push. Had a Jeter here, kind of random Jeter. Had this as a 9. Came back as an 8. I just think the gold foil is great. And for a 95 card, that's a pretty sweet looking card. Doesn't really refract a ton, but it's got some refraction to it. Had it as a 9, came back as an 8. $20 card. It was a great example of how Jeter just doesn't have the same value in the market as Jordan. Some people say Jeter's not really that popular outside of New York. So you have to be careful when picking up Jeter collections because you can get burned. This is, so we had the 95 Topps Finest Jason Kidd. I had this as a 9. I don't know why I would have pre-graded this as a 9 because I didn't take the peel off, which I never do. I always take the peel off. But I guess I didn't do that here, and it looks like there's some greening on his, some hulking or whatever you want to call it. So got an 8 on this. Yeah, pretty marginal card, $15. Another Kid. I mean, it's a Kid rookie card, so, but it's the base, and I didn't take the peel off. And again, there's some greening there, so I think the 8 is a legitimate grade. Otherwise, it looked good. Again, $15, so loss on those two. About a $25 loss on those two cards. Next one is another base. This is the 95 Upper Deck 84-85 rookie of Jordan. I had this as a PSA 9, and it came back as a 10. Not the most aesthetically pleasing card, but the price is right. $185 to $200 in a PSA 10. So again, paid $2 for this, 25 to grade. You know, doing pretty good on that. Next one, we've got this is the scouting report from 95 Collector's Choice Upper Deck. I had this as a 10 and it got an 8. So got burned on that one pretty good, which is going to happen. Got this one. This is the, playoff time, I think. Jordan's wearing a jersey numbered 45 in this, so this is back when he got back in off the first retirement. I had this as a 10. Came back as a 10. I had a bunch of these sent in. Only this one, but I've got more that I may send in. We'll see. In a 10, this is a $160 card. $160, $175. Next one is the Upper Deck Collector's Choice. I had this as a 10, and it got an 8. So took a beating on this one. There's Shaq in the background, also watching Jordan. Probably $15 card. That $10 card, so took a loss on that one. This is the 95 Ultra Gold Shaq. Thought this looked good. Had it a 9, got a 7. Probably some scratching. Usually that's what the deal is with these. There's a micro scratches on the front. Yeah, so $10 card. Got a 95 Topps Gallery Shaq. Thought this was a 9. Came back as an 8. Not a really valuable card. Probably $15, $10, $15 at the most. So we got a run here now where I've swung and missed. Let's see here. Probably about half the time over these last probably 10 cards. This is a Stadium Club Iverson. I thought this looked pretty icy. I thought it was a 10. Put the good one first. Got an 8.5. $20. Loss. Next one. Thought this was a 9. Got a 6. It's got to be on the surface. Don't know exactly where. Probably on the back. Usually it's on the back. I have to look closer. But, yeah, unless it's way off center, which is impossible for me to tell. $5 card. So this is a giveaway and a 6. It's okay, though. It's okay. Because I had this one. I had this one pre-graded as a 10. So that's the thing. So here it is. Here's the setup. Thought this was a 10. Got an 8.5. Thought this was a 9. No, did I think this was a 10? No, I thought this one was a 9. Got a 6. Not great. These are older slabs too, by the way. Some of these slabs are older. Some of them are newer. It's kind of interesting how they... Thought this one, however, was a 10. There you go. So it's a bit of a game, folks. You got to play the game a little bit sometimes. You know, throw them some scraps and then throw them a meaty bone and see if they bite. A $420, $450 card in a PSA 10. Pretty low pop count on this card too. Actually, it's the Rookies 1. So it's one of the bigger cards of the order. Did I take a hit on this one? Yeah. I'm going to take a $25 hit on this. But I'm going to gain, what, $400 on this one? So that's how you do it, right? That's what I've been trying to tell people. So you have to kind of take some risks in order to get some wins. You don't want to take huge risks. Don't get me wrong. I mean, yeah. So anyway, I'm not going to go on about that. 96 Topps MJ. I thought this was a 10. I've graded this card a bunch of times. I just can't get this in a 10. Probably off-centered, right to left. If you look at this, the angle here compared to that, that's closer to 45. That's a little bit less. Still a 9, though. And in a 9, it's a $35 card. So again, big win, small win. You know, $5 to $10, $400. But you need them both in order to make it work, in my opinion. It's a Walt Frazier 96 Golden Season 96. I think this is Finest, if I'm not mistaken. Had this in the 5,000 count box. I think this one actually came from the South Dakota collection, so the outlay on this one is actually 75 cents. I thought it looked good. I had it as a 10. It came back as a 10. I don't even know if this card has ever been graded before. Look at this card. That's Wilt Chamberlain. And Walt Frazier. And Walt Frazier's probably, I don't know, is he the best point guard ever played for the New York Knicks? Probably. So a 10? Yeah, $250 card. And probably you could put a little bit more on this one just because the pop count is so low. So, yeah. I mean, and I had contemplated why I actually didn't even initially send it in. It was going into the 5,000. It went into the 5,000 count box. So a couple nice wins there in a row. Had the Topps Finest Ray Allen Refractor. Yeah, this is a 7. A viewer had suggested that I send this in. And got an 8. Right? 70, $75, $80. One of my all-time favorite players for the Bucks. What a pure shooter. This one, okay. Oops, jeez. Knocking over the microphone. I had to just, that's funny. Okay, this one I had sent in. I'd sent in a black and I'd sent in a blue. And the blue came back as min size. So some people are like, oh, why do you send them in more than once? Well, I thought this card looked really good, and I didn't know why it was min size. I mean, I didn't measure it, but I had this as a 10. I've always had this card as a 10, and it came back as a 10. So yeah, I graded it twice. A little scratch down there in the case. So I'm in it for what? Grading $45. Outlay on the card was 75 cents. I think this also came from the South Dakota collection, so $46 on the outlay. And I got the 10, $450 to $500 card. So again, you have to make some and take some calculated risks. Got a bunch of these in that father-son collection. This is the 96 Skybox Earthshakers. Super condition and sensitive card. Had about 8 of these in that collection. This was the best one. I thought it was a 9, and it came back as a 9. So $50 card there. 500 here together. Outlay $56. Not bad. We'll take it. It adds up, folks. It definitely adds up. Next one, Top Stars 96. Had high hopes for this card. Had it as a 9. 5. Well, PSA, what did I miss on this one? I don't really see anything. It's probably some bending or crease or... Oh, there's a print line there. Okay. I see that, but I'm not... Maybe... God, I don't know, folks. Who knows? Something. $5 card at the most. Cut above. Have a bunch of these. And I thought I'd try my hand at one of these rather than send in a whole bunch. I had this as a 9. Not really valuable cards, but cool cards. It came back as a 9. I like the imagery photographs on these cut aboves. So, $30, $40 card. Golden Season. Had a bunch of these in the order. Had this as a 9. Came back as an 8. I've gotten this in a 10 before, but... Or I've gotten this returned as a 10, but... Didn't do too well on that one. I'm just going to move these here. All right, next stack. There's another Golden Season. Had as a 9. Got an 8.5. Kind of an odd grade. Had another 9 here. Pre-grade. Came back as a 9. $60 and a 9. What? $30 and an 8.5. $25 and an 8. Top Stars. Had this as a 9. A little bit of a reach on this one. Got an 8. $20. Small loss. Another Top Stars. Had this as a 10. So this was the better of the two in my opinion. Was really hopeful on this one. Got an 8. No, excuse me, got a 9. So it was off by 1 grade. And the difference is $30 to $365. So gambled on this one. Gambled and lost. Well, didn't really lose. Pushed, right? $35 for that. So, but is it worth the gamble? When it comes back as a 10, it's a $365 to $375 card. Why not? Give it a shot. This was a unique card. This is the 96 Upper Deck 69-point game. Yeah, not terribly familiar with this card. Obviously, it's Upper Deck. Never graded it before. Thought it was a 9. It's got the gold foil on the front. And got a 10. Yeah, this is a nice card. I mean, to get this in a 10 with that black bordering and the foil, only a $150 card. I can guarantee you, if I put this card up for $150, it is going to sell within a matter of 20 minutes. Because this card's hard to find. I had a hard time comping this card. So undergraded this one. I'll probably put this one closer to $200 on eBay. And I'm willing to bet someone's going to buy it. So these next two are the 97 Topps Jordan Topps 40. I bought them for $40, $20 each off of Facebook Marketplace. Yeah, mistake. Yeah, I had this as an 8 and it came back as a 6. So $10 there. And had this one as a 9. And it came back as an 8. So still, believe it or not, a $50 to $65 card and an 8. For some reason, these cards are worth a little bit more. So yeah, didn't do great. 80, yeah, didn't do great on these. 20, 45, 90. Yeah, and it for $90. And, well, maybe, yeah, a little bit of a loss. Probably get $75 out of these two at the most. Next one is the Hoops 97 Jordan. Had as a 9, came back as an 8. About $35 card there. These are the MJ, in flight. This is like a set. This is like a set that would, one of the mini sets that Upper Deck created in '98. I had this one as a 9. And a 9, it's a $30 card. So really, really pushing it with these. Really pushing it with these. And got a 5. Who knows why? Probably a crease or multiple dents in the back. Not sure. So, loss. Another in-flight. Had this one as a 10. And got a 10. Yeah, $105, $115, $120 card and a 10. So, across these two, what was it? $2 plus 25, 27. And it's probably a $5 card. So you're looking at maybe clearing $20 on this, or taking a $20 loss, excuse me, and taking a $100 to $120 profit on this. Let's say $100. So you're coming out ahead $80 on these two. These cards are a lot of these cards out there. I mean, you can find those pretty much for $1 in collections. This one had this one as a 9. Got an 8. Next one, pretty disappointed in this one. Had this as a 10. It was the last of the in-flights, and it got a 5. So a huge miss on this one. So I must have missed something big on this. What it is, I don't know. I'm guessing it's got to be surface. It's got to be a crease, a bend, something. So I'll have to take a look at that, because that's a killer right there. So if you look at these 4 in-flights, you're looking at probably a small loss on these. I have to do the math, but so tough. Yeah, probably won't send those in again just because I was so off. Sports Illustrated for kids. These were in the father-son collection as well. I had this as a 8. And it came back as a 5. Probably because of these perforations here. I don't know. Great card though. What's it worth? $20? Oh, goodness. All right, this is the 1998 Sports Illustrated for kids. Card number 8. I had this as a 9. No, I had this as an 8. No, excuse me. I'm sorry. Had it as an 8. I'm sorry. I'm all over the place here because some of these were X'd out. I had this one as a 9. And then a 9, It's a pretty nice card. I actually looked this up on eBay. These are pretty hard to find in 9s. I don't know. These are really hard to find in 9s. I don't know what the pop count is. I've seen this upwards of $600-700. So that might be a bit of a stretch, but I have it valued right around $700. I think the card ladder value is like $750. Because the pop count's so low on that. That was a nice win. Had this one, another one of the Sports Illustrated for Kids had this one as a had this one. Jeez, what is the number on this one? Number 7. I had this as an 8. It came back as a 7. This is the Barron's card from that set. In an 8, it's about a $20 card. This is the last one of the Sports Illustrated for Kids cards. I had this as a 9. And Lord have mercy, it came back as a 9. This is a hell of a card. Very tough to find this card. So I think this is a legit $750 card. I think PSA 9 and card ladder is value $750. So this card, I won't be quick to sell this one or this one for that matter. I'm going to price them higher and see if somebody bites, just because the pop counts are so low. And a 9, and at a 10 is probably about a $2,000 card. Nice win on that. So the Sports Illustrated for Kids piece, if you can find more of these, give it a shot, because I sent in 4. 4 did not get graded. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them were not graded for min size, but for the 2 that I hit 9s on, there was about $1,500 there. Next one is the 98 Fleer. I love the image on this card. Just shooting the jumper mid-range. Had it as a 10 and got a 10. That's just a very clean looking photo and card. That card is a $325 card. So, nice win on that one. I did good in this stack. Little Shaq Action record breaker, records, collection. Had this as an 8, 7.5. Just thought it was a cool card. Believe it or not, at a 7.5, it's like a $50 card, $50, $60 card. Again, super condition insensitive because of the black border and the black surfacing, but what a sweet, sweet card. Happy to get it back in a 7.5. No issues for me with that. All right, on to the next page. Took a beating here with these. If I'm looking at my totals. A lot of Shaqs here. Shaq's tough. Margins on Shaq just aren't really as good as what you'd think. Keymasters, I had this as a 10. Even in a 10, it's a $100 card. Got a 9, which is a good grade for this, but $30 card. And it's the base. These came from the South Dakota collection, though, so $2 on the outlay on these. No, not $2. 75 cents on the outlay on these. This is the Keymasters for Elijah one. This is the refractor. I had this as a 10, and hot damn, it came back as a 10. So it's like, yeah, this is a 9, the base, but this 10, man, what a sweet card. That is just an amazing looking card of the Dream, and it's like a $200 card. So, you know, $25.75 in on this one. Totally worth it to grade it. Next one, Season's Best. No, that's the Bombardiers that didn't get graded. Upper Deck MJ. Had this as a 10. This is the choice. Came back as a 9. So, $20 card there. Excuse me. Oh, Kobe, I think this is Brilliance. Thought this was a 10. Got the 9. Bummer. Yeah. $45 card. Cool card though. Again, a very clean card. Clean imagery. These gold labels, I don't know what the deal is with these gold labels. I thought this was a 10. Came back as a 9. It was a $40 card. These are really hard to get 10s in. It's class 1 though. So, nice card. Oh man, this one. I thought this was a 10. Damn, I thought this looked good. Oh, it's a Pedro. Yeah, Pedro Strikeout Kings Refractor. Wasn't part of the initial South Dakota collection order. Came back as a 9. There's a scratch on the couple scratches on the case. Yeah, it's not good. Yeah. Bummer. $320 card. Still a $100 card in a PSA 9. So definitely worth sending in. Oh, this card. We sent this in before. Upper Deck, short print, authentic. Had this as a 10. 9. Yeah, not sure what the issue was with this one. $50 and a 9. Sweet image. You know, looks like it's from the dunk contest. 88 or 80, 87, not sure which one. Let's see here, 88. I'd say 88. Okay, here we go. Last stack. These are the Black Diamond. I had this one as a 10. I got a 10. So 125, 135 on this. Black Diamonds. Find those pretty frequently in collections. Problem is the margin's pretty low. Like the thin, I should say. So this next one I had as a 9, and it came back as an 8. Probably shouldn't have sent it in. You know, 8, $15. This one I had as a 10. Got an 8. $15. So 2 losses. Yeah, this one as a, excuse me. I had this one as a let's see here. I had this one as a 10. Came back as an 8. So 10, 8, 8, 8, 3 8s. Then the last one I had as a 10, and it came back as a 10. So 2 10s and 3 8s. Again, 125 to 135, $40. Maybe close to break even on that. So would I send these in again? Maybe. I'd have to look and see what the issue was with these 8s. Tough to say. This is Ionics from 98. I'm not seeing. Sorry, folks. I jumped the gun on the sheet here. All right, I had this as a 10. This is the first of the Ionics, and it came back as a 9. So the image is really cool. I like the way these Ionics cards look. Excuse me. Some people aren't really big fans. This I had as a 10. Came back as a 10. So that's probably not a ton of value. Maybe $100. I had this one as a 9. Excuse me. Had this one as a 10. Came back as a 9. $25. Push. Had this one as a 10. And it came back as a 10. So again, 75 to $100. So the Ionics, the value's not there as much, but a little better on the grading. 2 9s and 2 10s. So compared to this, which was 2 10s and 3 8s. So you'd have to kind of look at the numbers and see which of those make more sense to send in if you're going to send them in at all. And a lot of people would not send them in. But I'm curious, like, so what happens when you send those in? Is it worth it? Because you can find, I've got a bunch of these, a lot of them. And if I can find the pattern, the cheat code, so to speak, it's worth it to send them in because they will sell. History of the Dunk. Upper Deck 2009. Got a 9. I don't care if this was a 4. I was sending it in because that's just an amazing image. That's from the 85 dunk contest. Right? Yep, 85 slam dunk competition. So in a 9, what is this card worth? $20. Not much. It's okay, though. Had a little Ken Griffey Jr. action here. This is the Top Stadium Club. I had this as a 10. Got a 9. Close. Real close. $225 card in a 10. $5 card in a 9. Yeah, there's no way this is a $5 card. It's at least a $10, $15 card in a 9. I mean, if it's $225 and a 10, it's got to be at least a $20, $15, $20 card. Must have been an auction that just sold low. Upper Deck Hardcourt Kobe. Thought this one looked really clean. Got a 10 on that. So pretty excited about that. That's a $125, $150 card. Yeah, nice. Did pretty good in this deck, I think. You'll see. Had a Shaq Game Floor 2000. Upper Deck. Pre-graded as an 8. Got a 9. Yeah, that's good. It's a thicker card. $50. Probably should be more. Upper Deck Griffey Jr. I think this is like a patch card. Upper Deck exclusives. I had this as a 9. Wasn't going to grade it. Just didn't think it would grade very well. Look at that. Got a 10. Authentic memorabilia. This is game. Was this game used? Game used. Those go like hotcakes. $250. I'd probably put $275, $300 on this card. So pleased with that. Again, thicker cards. Getting 10s. Yeah, that's pretty sweet. This one I'd never graded before. This is an Upper Deck Victory. I had it as a 10. I thought it looked real icy. Came from the Father-Son collection. Got a 10. So we're doing pretty good here. 9, 10, and 10. 50, 250, 275, 250, 275 on this. So between these three cards, you're looking at 50, 500, 600, $650 on an outlay of 75 plus 2. No, 75 cents, 75 cents, and $2. So $3.50. So right around $80 for the outlay and 650. So yeah, go figure. Sorry I didn't reveal this one. This is a 9. Thought this was a pretty clean looking card. Thought it was a 10. Got a 9. Probably centering off to right to left. Yeah, definitely. Look at the back. For sure. So it wasn't a 10. I was off. I was wrong. Pre-grade was incorrect. $55 card, though. And what a sweet card. It's got the facsimile autograph on there. Like it. Oh, the old Fleer EX. This is a 2003 Shaq. Had this as a 10. Got a 9. Yeah. $50 card, though. Had the Kobe in the same card. Same set, same product. Had it as a 10. Got a 9. Probably a $60 card. Coming down the home stretch here, folks. Had a Kobe. This is the Flair. Thought it was a 9. Got a 9. I didn't know Flair went up into 2003. Got another Shaq Fu. I thought this was a 10. There you go, 6. Who knows, man? I mean, like, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's the patch window. It doesn't look bad. It's got to be something on the surface. They have probably some automated AI system that, like, scans the surface of these cards. And if they find a dent or a crease, boom, down 3-4 grades. But that's okay. No problem. I'm good with it. 2007 Fleer MJ 8. Got a 7. Probably shouldn't have sent it in. Oh, I know why I sent it in. In a 7, it's a $50 card. I guess these retros are pretty valuable. Last 2 cards. Oh my goodness, this is a long order, but fun nonetheless. 2009 Upper Deck SP Red. I had this as a 10. Boom. Got a 10. $250, $300 card on this. Sweet image too, even though it's not playing years. Yeah, that's a good one. Got a nice win on that one. And then this last one is a refractor of Dr. J 96 Topps Finest. I had it as an 8, got a 7, but still a fun card. I used to have the rookie card. I sold it. It was in a PSA 7. I think I sold it for about $1,200 about 3 years ago. $30 card. So nothing big. But still a fun card. Wasn't going to get it graded, but changed my mind and got it graded. All right, so that is the entire order. That's 113 cards. Let's see how we did. All right, again, total outlay was $3,900. Estimated value was $12,500. Estimated profit was just under $7,000. Final value was $8,700. Final profit was $3,670. Estimated value versus final value was a negative 30% difference. Estimated profit versus the final profit was a 40% negative difference. 113 cards graded. 8 of the cards were minimum size. 14 cards were graded undergraded, 12%. 39 cards were correctly graded, 35%, for a total of 47% correct. And then 60 cards were undergraded, or overgraded, excuse me, overgraded for 53% of the order. Yeah, not great. Not great at all. But that being said, I still profited. If all the cards sell, and they will all eventually sell, $3,670. So what is the moral of the story? This has got to be low. If you can keep your cost basis low for the outlay on the cards, you can pay $25 a card and spend almost $3,000 grading them. You can have an estimated value that is much, much higher than what you get for a final value. Your final profit can be way lower than your estimated profit. I mean, shoot, the final profit is almost 50% less than what I thought it was going to be. But still, $3,600? I mean, that's not bad, folks. Not bad at all. I think it's good, frankly, even though I was off so much. And let's take a look how this compares with the other 11 orders. This is order number 12. It arrived on 6/10. It was completed on 9/29, excuse me, so it was a little over 3 months. Not little over, decently over. Grading percentages, I went over those. The current was 47% correct versus 53% quote-unquote incorrect. The year average, so compared to the year average, I've been 57% over the prior 11 orders correct and 43% incorrect. So definitely did significantly worse on this order in terms of reliability and validity on the pre-grades versus the final grades. This is really important. This is a really important part of the video, because if you watch the reveal but don't watch this last part, you're missing pretty much the entire point of these reveals and videos. The estimated profit was $7,000 versus $3,670. Again, 52% off. My estimated profit for the year I have had at $34,535. The final profit I'm estimating when all the carts sell is $26,050. So I'm off by about 25%. So for sure I'm overgrading the cards, and as a result, I am overestimating what I think the final value and final profit will be. So yeah, but still, I mean, $26,000 in profit grading with PSA. That's not bad. I'll take it. I'll take it today. I'll take it tomorrow. Yeah, I probably could have. I could have a smaller delta between the estimated profit and the final profit, but the total profit amount would be less. So, and again, some of these cards, I mean, it's hit or miss. If you're going to get a 10 or get a 6, and you don't know unless you send some of them in. So, in flight, probably won't send them in again. Ionics probably would. And I've got some. So, you have to just kind of, it's trial and error to some extent, and you have to just kind of figure out how to do it. Overall, I'm pleased with this order. I don't know what you think. I'd be curious to hear what you think. I think a $3,500 profit on an outlay for the cards, it's $1,000. It's kind of a no-brainer to me, but I'd be curious to see what you think. I really appreciate those of you that watch the entire video, and for those of you that watch just a portion or cherry pick, your opinions are your opinions. You're entitled to them, but I'm probably not going to put much stock into them. But for those who watch the entire thing and or have been watching these reveal videos, I really appreciate you. You're the best of what is in this hobby. Thank you for watching, and thank you for being a fan and a subscriber to this channel. You are the reason why I do this. Take care. Peace out to everyone. One love.